and I want to share a little bit with what's on my mind regarding youth basketball 1-for-1. And maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but just sharing a couple of my overall thoughts. And I think that when you're coaching, if you have a child, a young player who might be watching this video, if you're in 3rd, 4th, 5th, even 6th grade, really a lot of those ages where you might not be up towards like puberty yet, 2 for 2, it's really easy for us to want to get the immediate results. And so you may, almost cheat your player or child or whatever it is, taking a shortcut that'll give you some more success now, but it's not built to last. It's not something that you can put, more building blocks on to become a better player down the road. You think about shooting as an example. Like it takes 3 for 3. It takes some strength to shoot a ball. So in order to get the basketball to the rim as a 4th grader, are you gonna, let your child do it in a way that isn't gonna be a building block to become a better shooter when they're in 7th grade, when they're a high school basketball player? Or are you gonna stay true and disciplined to teaching shooting the right way, 3 for 4, so that they can continue to add those bricks and really build themselves into a great shooter? I just realized I was talking about bricks as far as a building block to shooting, and bricks and shooting, obviously you don't want to shoot bricks. So that's kind of funny. Maybe I should use a different analogy, but I hope that you get what I'm talking about as far as just having a foundation that you can build upon. And I think that it's very easy being a youth basketball coach and doing training and player development camps and all this stuff, and you get young players that come out and you can see players that may not be physically advanced enough compared to some of their peers. They may be smaller than the average size, but you can see the foundation that they have already. 5 for 7. Oh, better pick it up. You see the foundation that they have already. When you have that foundation, they're setting themselves up for success well down the road, and they're going to pass 6 for 8. They're going to pass a lot of people, really. And what I've seen is you start to pass people around puberty because the bad habits that you built up prior to that, combined with maybe that player's a little bigger, a little faster, a little stronger at those younger ages, they get that early boost in the results. But things generally start to even themselves out a little bit, let's say 13 and up, and you're really able to see the bad habits that gave early success have a much lower ceiling, and the habits that were built on a strong foundation have the ability to keep growing and better and constantly improving. And so you're able to see some of those kids make almost a 7 for 9, a really big jump. It seems almost like an overnight success, and it's not. It's just they stayed true to working on the basic skills of the game. Sure, they're 8 for 10. Their size, especially younger, may have been a factor. Their strength, their speed may have been a factor. But as things start to somewhat even out, combined with the fact that they built that solid foundation, boom, they start to take off and really pass a lot of people around, that middle school, junior high age range, 9 for 11. Granted, certain kids are always going to be bigger, always going to be faster, always going to be taller and more athletic. But at the end of the day, 9 for 11, you can't control that stuff anyway. So don't do yourself a disservice and try to cheat the long-term result for some of the short-term results, because once things even out, the work will show. And the work that players have been putting in staying fundamentally sound will build. 10 for 12. I am an example of this. 5th through 8th grade, there was a school that we always played against. We usually played against them at least twice every year. They're in our conference, and they beat us every time. And good basketball players, but for the most part, they just had more kids in their class that were bigger, faster, stronger, developed earlier. You get to high school, stuff starts, and even within that 5th to 8th grade range, like 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, they smoked us. 8th grade, we're like battling a little bit closer, they still beat us. 9th grade, we beat them for the first time. It's kind of a little bit, some of those guys, myself, jumped up JV, varsity. 10th grade, same thing, pretty even. By my junior and senior year of high school, we played them 6 times because they were a good team. We played them in the districts, beat them both times. It was basically the same kids that, went to our school, went to their school. But things even out as far as physically maturing, and we had more, kids that were just basketball players that had worked on their skills at a younger age. So a lot of the stuff that paid off when we were high school players was actually the work that we'd done in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. We just didn't have the bodies to be able to pull it off yet. And once our bodies started to even out, it wasn't even, like we played them 6 times, we beat them all 6 times. And usually it was by quite a bit. Like the results were pretty dramatic. So I don't say this out of like, I think. I say this out of I know. Like this is just like basketball experience that I'm sharing with you guys right here. Okay, so I hope that's beneficial as you think about me shooting a few right here. I'm gonna finish these out. 13 for 15. $13 for 16. 4 more. I gotta finish. Make these next ones, right? $14 for 17. It's therapeutic, man, coming out here, shooting hoops by myself. Talking to you. 15 for 18. We run 16 for 19. We run these shooting camps all over the place. And I always tell our college players that we usually have as coaches helping out, I said, we could run a shooting drill and you could knock it out of the park. We could have you scrimmage against the players. You'd play great, you're a college player. But one of the hardest things is shooting and talking and demonstrating and not being in a rhythm at the same time. So shooting these videos like this before our summer camps is actually like practice for me of, can I talk, explain, not be in a rhythm, and then take a shot and make it. Because that's what I do all summer, and in my opinion, it's a lot harder than even trying to knock down shots in a game. So 17 for 20, those are a couple of my thoughts on developing younger shooters and also just developing athletes overall. Don't cheat your players for the quick, microwave success. Stay true to the process of developing a solid foundation, and you're going to be really glad that your players stuck with that. By the time they get up into high school, they're not only going to pass the players that kind of took the easy road in the beginning, but from a skill standpoint, they're going to blow them out of the water. So that's my encouragement to you. Stay true to the fundamentals and keep getting after it.